evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Comedy Store. Let's make him welcome Rodney Rude. Come on.
In the 1980s, being arrested and charged for pushing comic boundaries was a risk regularly run by one of Australia's most popular stand-up comedians.
Okay, here's a comedy subject. Any coppers in tonight? Yeah! Well, that's good, because I want to buy some cheap cannabis.
It was beyond risque, but they loved him. He was building, I saw him build an audience of, followers. They were fans.
I remember watching Rodney Rude and just thinking it was the funniest thing I'd ever seen.
I did a barroom in WA. The bouncer had said to me, he said, "Oh, Rodney," he said, "there's a couple of detectives in tonight and they're going to arrest you." And it was all over policeman joke. The more I told policeman jokes, the angrier they got. I said, "Oh, ladies and gentlemen, there was a couple of Perth detectives in a long-term gay relationship. They decided to go and buy a big black strap-on. So they're at home on Sunday, and one of them said, 'Where's the new strap-on?' And his mate said, he said, 'It's in the freezer.' He said, 'What's it in the freezer for?' He said, "I thought while we're watching the footy on TV, you might feel like a cold one.' And, of course, the coppers got... when I said that, the one guy was a short ass, and he went all red. He was angry.
Rodney Rude was arrested for obscenity in a public place. As one of the leading comedians on the club circuit, he felt he had to fight for his freedom of speech for the sake of Australian comedy.
I don't want to sound like I'm a big note to myself, but I just at the time thought that I need to be the one to stand up, and I just got angry.
Rude's routines were read out word for word in court, which only strengthened his case.
Those judges there, when people try not to laugh when you're a kid in school, he had his face like that and he's going like this, holding his face so he wouldn't laugh.
In a game-changing verdict, Rodney Rude won his case, blazing a trail for comedians to follow.
A lot of people have been charged in WA, Dave Warner and Angry Anderson and Molly Meldrum. When I won, that made it easier for everybody to go there, and because I think a lot of the journalists and that were saying, were on my side.
Rodney Rude is one of the biggest selling comedians in Australian history. His success, alongside other blue comics like Kevin Bloody Wilson and Cole Elliott, is a product of the huge people-pulling power of the clubs.